The tension was palpable the moment Jackie Christie sailed into the charity tent only to vanish just as quickly as she arrived. Whispers spread like wildfire. Did she really ghost the family she vowed to support? Fans are shocked as rumors swirl of a backstage showdown, with Evelyn and Brittany Hoover orchestrating a savage takedown behind the scenes. Emotions ran high when cameras caught Evelyn's steely glare and Brittany's cutting remark, "If you can't handle a little sunshine, you shouldn't show up at all." The charity drive meant to bring hope to fire victims exploded into a battleground of accusations and unanswered questions. Insiders claim Jackie's abrupt exit triggered an all-out war among the cast-old grievances resurfaced. Alliances shattered and the family was left divided. Was this a panic-induced flight from the spotlight or a strategic play to dominate headlines? Reports hint at secret confrontations in the dressing room, hushed phone calls, and tearful confessions that never made the final cut. As the drama intensifies, viewers are left wondering, will Jackie return to defend her reputation? Or will Evelyn and Brittany's ruthless critique sink her comeback before it even begins? Buckle up, this is just the beginning. Charity drive had barely warmed up when Jackie Christie's abrupt exit sent shockwaves through the entire event. Volunteers arrived eager to help fire victims, their arms laden with donated blankets and canned goods, only to discover that one of their headline guests had vanished without a trace. Jackie's folding chair sat empty beneath a colorful canopy, decorations fluttering in the breeze as if mocking her absence. Volunteers exchanged confused glances, whispering that she'd been there only long enough to flash a few smiles and pose for pictures. One organizer shook her head in disbelief. "We counted on her to stay through the afternoon shift," she murmured. The air, heavy with the scent of fresh flowers and regret, buzzed with questions. Evelyn paced near the refreshments table, jaw clenched, recounting every moment of Jackie's brief appearance. Brittany Hoover hovered close, concern etched across her face. They replayed the scene in their minds, Jackie arriving in a crisp white blazer, waving to cameras, greeting a handful of survivors with a perfunctory hug, and then slipping away so stealthily that no one noticed until she was gone. Their frustrations simmered as they recalled her final words, "I need a quick break." Within minutes, she had disappeared, leaving behind only the echo of her promise to support the cause. Denise Richards, who had methodically arranged snack tables and checked off every volunteer's name, confronted them both with a careful calm. She revealed that she had seen Jackie stepping behind the sound booth, phone pressed tightly to her ear, shoulders trembling. Moments later, Denise returned, to find the second volunteer station abandoned. "I thought maybe she went to use the restroom," Denise said softly, "but she never came back." The word ghost began circulating among the crew, not as a metaphor, but as a blunt reality. Volunteers shared conflicting rumors. One claimed they saw Jackie clutch a water bottle and pace anxiously near the entrance, as if weighing whether to stay. Another insisted they heard her half whisper a conversation, "I'm so sorry, I'll handle it," before she sprinted away. Fans are shocked by the idea that her daughter might have called, tears audible, through the line, forcing Jackie to choose family over public persona. Emotions ran high as this claim spread, fueling speculation that her absence had deeper roots than mere stage fright. Back at the tent, Brittany gathered a small group of survivors for a makeshift gathering circle. She introduced herself with genuine warmth, listening as elders recounted their losses. One elderly woman, voice quivering, thanked Brittany for her kindness. "You stayed when others left," she said, tears pooling in her eyes. Brittany's voice cracked as she replied, "That's why we're here, to stand together." She spared no mention of Jackie, but her words cut sharply. The family was left divided, not by fire, but by perceived authenticity versus performance. Evelyn, fueled by outrage, sought Jackie for answers. She cornered her in the equipment trailer, cameras rolling. "Why did you leave?" Evelyn demanded, tone edged with steel. Jackie's response was vague. Head bowed. I felt overwhelmed. Evelyn pressed on. Overwhelmed? By giving hope. You said you cared. Jackie's eyes flicked up, glistening with unshed tears, but she remained silent. Evelyn's glare could have sparked flames. If you can't handle light, don't pretend to bring it. The scene cut to a confessional where Brittany vented. We did the hard work, sorting boxes, packing meals, comforting families. She treated this like a photo op came, smiled, left. In the next shot, Denise added, voice low and steady. People rely on actions, not hashtags. You show up, you better show up all the way. Their united front highlighted a stark contrast in commitment. And viewers at home bristled at Jackie's flight. Social media lit up with memes mocking Jackie's hasty departure. A stopwatch labeled commitment time stuck at 30 minutes. A gif of a sprinting cartoon figure with her silhouette superimposed. Hashtags like hashtag Jackie Splits and hashtag Charity Ghost trended within hours. Fans dissected every frame, debating whether she had a panic attack, a personal crisis, or simply self-preservation. Instincts in overdrive. Some sympathized. Maybe she needed a moment. Others outright condemned. If you're not all in, don't step in. The online fury mirrored the tension on the ground. Insiders whispered of a backstage argument between Jackie and a production assistant moments before her exit. One crew member claimed they overheard Jackie shout, "Stop micromanaging me." The assistant supposedly pleaded, "We just need you for one more interview." But Jackie spat back, "I've done enough." Rumors suggested the producers intentionally orchestrated the charity drive, anticipating a meltdown that would boost ratings. Was Jackie a victim of manipulative editing or a willing participant in her own controversy? Fans debated fiercely. Meanwhile, survivors shared their own disappointment. A young mother, clutching her toddler, approached volunteers with gratitude, tears in her eyes. She confided to Brittany, "We thought someone like her would lift our spirits." Brittany squeezed her hand. "We all wanted that, but here we are, still finding strength." This moment, raw and unguarded, became emblematic of the drives. Duality hope interwoven with heartbreak. Evelyn and Brittany later held an impromptu meeting with volunteers to strategize a recovery plan. Brittany spoke passionately. "We can't change what happened, but we can rebuild trust." She outlined extra volunteer sessions, late-night packing, and personal visits to survivors. Evelyn chimed in. "Our mission goes beyond this event. Actions matter more than applause." Their heartfelt resolve underscored the gulf between genuine care and fleeting commitment. As the afternoon sun dipped low, anticipation built for a potential confrontation. Production crew whispered of a private sit-down that evening, rumored to include all cast members. Set designers worked quickly to clear tables for a staged confrontation. One makeup artist, wiping brushes, admitted, "I'm surprised she hasn't come back to touch up." The absence of Jackie's presence at this pivotal moment amplified her reluctance to face the fallout. The closing shots of the tent showed volunteers packing the last of the supplies into trucks, survivors hugging volunteers goodbye, and banners. "Reading together we rise" fluttering in the breeze, yet the final lingering shot focused on Jackie's empty chair. Drenched in shadow, questions hanging heavy in the air. Would she return to right her wrongs? Or was her exit a permanent retreat from accountability? The unanswered questions buzzed like restless fireflies, promising that when the cameras rolled again, the real test of character would unfold under the harsh glare of public scrutiny. The sky had turned a dusky pink when the cast and crew regrouped for what insiders were calling the after-hours sit-down. Volunteers drifted away, survivors headed home, and the charity tents glowed under strands of twinkling lights. The mood crackled with anticipation as Jackie Christie finally appeared. Her shoulders hunched, hair swept into a loose ponytail, and eyes darting toward Evelyn and Brittany. Fans are shocked by how tense the air felt. This wasn't a friendly wrap-up. but a battleground primed for emotional fireworks. Evelyn stood near the center of the cleared space, arms crossed, her expression unreadable. Brittany hovered beside her, arms folded, jaw set. Jackie approached cautiously, voice barely above a whisper. "I'm sorry I was gone so long." The words hung in the air, sounding fragile. Evelyn's gaze didn't soften. "Sorry doesn't fix half-finished tables or abandoned families," she replied, tone low. Emotions ran high as the other women formed a loose circle, each waiting to weigh in. Denise cleared her throat, stepping forward with measured calm. "We all hit our breaking point," she said. "But when you made that promise, you opened yourself up to accountability." Jackie swallowed, eyes shimmering. "I know I let you down," she admitted. "I felt overwhelmed by everything, memories of my daughter, the cameras, the expectations." A hush fell over the group. For a moment, it seemed like understanding might bridge the divide. But Brittany cut in, voice sharp. "We didn't make empty promises. We stayed until the end. We tasted dust and tears, but we stayed." She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. "You treated this like a scene, not a community." Fans at home would later quote that line, reposting it with heavy hearts. The family was left divided, lines drawn between genuine compassion and performative charity. Jackie single quotes as shoulders shook, and she took a hesitant step closer. "I never meant to hurt anyone," she whispered. "I just ... couldn't face the light." Her confession struck like a thunderbolt. Brittany's eyes widened. "Couldn't face the light?" she echoed. This wasn't about fame or selfies, it was about people who lost everything. The harshness in her voice revealed the depth of their collective frustration. At that moment, whispered rumor rippled through the circle. Jackie's teenage daughter had posted a cryptic message on social media, tagging her mother and pleading for real conversations. The message read, "Stop running, Mom. I need you here." Emotions swelled as Jackie's face crumpled. She looked to the ground. "She called me before I left," Jackie admitted, voice cracking. "She's been distant for months. I panicked." Evelyn's usual icy demeanor softened. She stepped forward, placing a hand on Jackie's arm. "We get it," Evelyn said quietly. "We've all made mistakes." Yet her eyes glinted with steel. "But ego can't drive charity," she added. "You have to choose service or spotlight." Denise nodded in agreement, arms opening to include Jackie in their circle. "We're offering you a choice to stay and help rebuild," Denise said. Jackie blinked back tears. "I want to," she whispered. "I do." Yet fans watching would later debate whether her tears were genuine or another dramatic flourish. The cameras lingered on her face as she hesitated, the silence stretching like a taut wire. Finally, she exhaled and turned toward the volunteer supply trailer. "I'll go pack boxes," she said, voice small. As she moved, the others formed. A support chain. Brittany handed her gloves. Denise handed her a stack of blankets, and Evelyn handed her a box to fill. Together, they began sorting items: canned goods, toiletries, warm socks. The simple act of working side by side felt earnest, raw, and unpolished. No cameras, no scripted lines. Just women wanting to do right by those who needed them most. Suddenly, a production assistant whispered in Evelyn's ear. She nodded, then called out, "Let's capture this moment, but keep it genuine." The camera re-entered, rolling on the unexpected redemption arc. Fans are shocked by the pivot from savage takedown to cautious reconciliation in mere minutes. Emotions ran high as viewers saw Jackie's hands tremble while packing, her forehead glistening with sweat and fresh resolve. Later, during another confessional, Jackie spoke into the lens, voice husky with emotion. "I thought I was protecting myself, but all I did was hurt the people I came to help and the women I consider family." Words felt raw, unguarded, a stark contrast to earlier defensiveness. "I can't erase my mistakes," she added, "but I can prove that I mean what I say." Viewers shared mixed reactions. Some praised her vulnerability. Others remained skeptical, recalling her fleeting presence earlier that day. Outside the tent, survivors watched the footage on a small tablet, eyes glistening. One young father wiped his brow, voice thick as he said, "That means something." Actions speak louder. Another survivor, a teen with a cast on her arm, nodded. "I just want to know she's here for us." These candid moments grounded the drama in real human stakes, highlighting that beyond the flashy headlines, genuine connection mattered most as night deepened. The women assembled final care packages and loaded them into waiting trucks. Jackie, now an active participant, helped load the last box, her earlier panic replaced by quiet determination. Evelyn gripped her arm, smiling softly. "Glad you're back," Brittany added. "We needed you." Denise handed Jackie a handwritten thank you note from a survivor inscribed with shaky cursive. "You gave me hope today." Jackie's eyes welled up, and she pressed the note to her chest, but the ceasefire felt tenuous. Cameras cut to a shot of Jackie removing her gloves, glancing at Evelyn and Brittany with a mixture of gratitude and lingering guilt. The music swelled, signaling the end of this chapter, but as any reality fan knows, redemption in one episode doesn't guarantee peace in the next. Production insiders teased that lingering tensions would surface again when resentments re-emerged over unresolved issues. Meanwhile, social media exploded once more, this time with hashtags like #Jack, IES Redemption, and #Teamwork over drama. Fans praised the unexpected twist, calling it a roller coaster of emotions and proof that even villains can find their way back. Yet cynics remained, posting comments like "she ghost again" and "too little, too late." The family was left divided not only in real life, but across digital battlegrounds. As the credit rolled on, the footage of box donations rolling away into the night. The lingering shot was of Jackie standing alone under a street lamp, reading the thank you note. Her silhouette trembled slightly, a lone figure contemplating the cost of fleeting fame versus lasting impact. The silence spoke volumes. The fire victims received help, but the court of public opinion remained undecided. And so the saga continued, a delicate dance between accountability and forgiveness, between spectacle and sincerity. Feelings remained raw, alliances tentative. And the question on everyone's lips was clear. Will Jackie sustain this newfound commitment? Or will old patterns resurface when the cameras stop rolling once more? The night ended with that unanswered question, setting the stage for yet another dramatic episode in this ongoing reality drama. As dawn broke the following morning, Jackie Christie awoke to an onslaught of notifications. Her phone buzzed relentlessly with news alerts, social media comments, and private messages from concerned friends. She stared at the barrage of fans or shocked headlines, each one dissecting her every move from the charity drive. Guilt gnawed at her, but pride whispered that some criticism was inevitable. She reminded herself that real change would take more than a social media apologet, would demand actions that echoed beyond one evening's redemption arc. Meanwhile, Evelyn Lozada and Brittany Hoover convened a strategy call with producers, their voices tight with purpose. "We need to keep this honest," Brittany insisted. "No more halfway apologies." Evelyn agreed. "Our viewers deserve the full story, every twist, every truth." They plotted a new charity session, one designed to test Jackie's commitment and expose any lingering doubts. Producers promised cameras would capture unscripted moments. Retakes allowed. Later that day, Jackie arrived at the next volunteer event, a community center hosting a clothing drive. She stepped onto the pavement, donning a simple t-shirt and sneakers, her professional blazer conspicuously absent. Volunteers glanced her way, some nodding in approval, others exchanging skeptical looks. Emotions ran high as she offered a tentative smile, recalling how it felt to help without cameras rolling. She swallowed hard, hoping this time her presence would speak louder than her absence. Inside the community hall, Donations overflowed on folding tables. Coats, shoes, books, and toys. A line of families wound toward a makeshift counter, their faces weary yet hopeful. Jackie moved among them, greeting each person with a genuine warmth she struggled to summon. "How can I help you today?" she asked a mother clutching two toddlers. The mother's eyes lit up as Jackie knelt to sort through children's jackets. Nearby, Evelyn and Brittany watched through the open doorway. Arms crossed, but expressions softer than before. Midway through the session, a delivery truck pulled up with boxes of blankets. Volunteers hustled to unload the shipment, and Jackie grabbed a box without hesitation. As she carried it into the hall, her muscles trembled, but she pressed on. Denise Richards caught her eye and nodded, mouthing, "You've got this." Jackie offered a grateful smile, feeling a surge of pride. In that moment, helping felt less like a duty and more like a lifeline. But the calm shattered when a local journalist arrived, mic in hand, determined for an exclusive. "Jackie, are you staying for the full day?" the reporter asked, flashing a notebook. Jackie's heart hammered. Memories of the previous day's headlines flashed before her eyes. She squared her shoulders, exhaling slowly. "I plan to." She lied with more confidence than she felt. The journalist's clicker echoed as she tapped away notes, eager for a sensational quote. Not long after, a volunteer approached Jackie with a plea. "My father lost his home in the fire. He's expecting new clothes for work." Jackie's throat tightened. She knelt to sort through men's shirts, each shirt a silent testament to lives turned upside down. "I'll find something perfect," she promised, her voice catching. Fans at home would later see this moment juxtaposed against her earlier flight and declare it a turning point. Some would say it proved her sincerity, while others remained unconvinced. Amid the clamor, Brittany cornered Evelyn with a concerned whisper. "She's pushing too hard," Brittany cautioned. Evelyn furrowed her brow. Or maybe she finally feels what it means to serve. They watched as Jackie's knuckles whitened around a bundle of coats. But then, just as quickly, her posture slumped. A tremor of panic crossed her face. Brittany's voice cracked. "Is she okay?" Evelyn murmured, "Watch and see, watch and see." Jackie retreated to a quiet corner, leaning against a vacant table. Her breath came in short gasps. A flash of doubt ripped through her. Was she performing again? Or was this genuine overwhelm? Tears pricked her eyes as she whispered into her sleeve, "I can't do this." But then she straightened, recalling the displaced families depending on her. She wiped her cheeks and marched back into the fray, arms laden with blankets. Determination etched on her face, just as the community hall seemed to settle into a rhythm of giving. A shocking twist unfolded. A young volunteer approached Evelyn and Brittany with news. "I found this note in the donations. It's from Jackie's daughter." Hands trembling, Brittany unfolded the crumpled paper. The note read, "Mom, I saw you helping these people. I'm proud, but I miss the you who was there for me." Silence flooded the room. Emotions ran high as the cast and volunteers absorbed the child's plea. Evelyn cleared her throat, voice soft. "This is beyond us now." Brittany nodded, tears shimmering. Her family is part of this story too. They agreed to share the note on camera, letting viewers see the raw plea that fueled Jackie's return. Producers hesitated, wary of crossing personal boundaries, but ultimately decided authenticity outweighed privacy concerns. On camera, Jackie read the note with trembling hands, her voice thick. "I love you, baby. I'm here now." The family was left divided, no more in that moment. A fragile unity bloomed among the women. But the revelation also opened old wounds. Rumors surfaced that Jackie's daughter had been estranged long before the charity drive, fueling speculation that the event was as much about family healing. As public service, the day's final segment involved distributing care packages directly to families. Jackie knelt in front of each recipient, handing over bags filled with essentials. An elderly man squeezed her hand, gratitude radiant in his eyes. "Thank you for being here," he said. Jackie nodded, tears spilling free. "Oh, I'm so sorry for how I left before," she whispered. Volunteers and survivors alike paused, the atmosphere thick with redemption and regret. As the event wound down, the women gathered for a final confessional. Brittany spoke first. "I saw someone step up today in a way that surprised me." Evelyn continued, "Hardship can bring out the best or worst in us. Today, she chose best." Denise added, "This is just one day. Time will tell if this lasts." Jackie's own confession ended the sequence. "I'll never take this for granted." Again, fans were left torn. Some hailed her comeback. Others warned this could be another fleeting moment. That evening, social media reacted with a fresh wave of debate. Hashtags like #JackIESJourney and #FromGhostToHost trended, accompanied by screenshots of the daughter's note and clips of Jackie's tearful reconnection. Fan polls showed a narrow margin of support, with skeptics insisting she'd disappear again. The court of public opinion remained in flux, mirroring the tentative unity among the women. Yet behind the scenes, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Production assistants whispered of late-night strategy sessions, plotting how to maintain the drama without sacrificing authenticity. Insiders leaked that the next episode would revisit Jackie's past controversies, betrayals, arguments, family rifts, and juxtapose them against today's redemption story. The promise of juicier twists hung in the air like a storm cloud on the horizon. In the days that followed, Jackie was invited to a private meeting with Evelyn Brittany and Denise, held in a quiet conference room. Cameras were kept out, but audio leaked. They discussed boundaries, expectations, and whether Jackie could truly sustain her commitment. Brittle politeness gave way to raw honesty as Denise pressed, "We need to know you're doing this for the right reasons." Heartbreak and hope mingled in Jackie's voice as she assured them, "I'm in this for the long haul." As the sun set on this chapter, the narrative hung suspended between redemption and relapse. Fans tuned in, hungry for more, torn between faith and skepticism. The storyline had evolved from a savage takedown into a layered exploration of family, accountability, and the cost of true compassion. The question echoing in every heart remained, will Jackie's newfound resolve endure, or will the ghosts of her past pull her away once more? Only time and the next explosive episode would reveal the truth. The evening air was thick with unresolved tension long after the volunteers had packed up their stations. Shadowy figures moved about, striking last-minute lighting rigs and adjusting microphones in anticipation of a hastily arranged panel, ostensibly meant to quell the rumors swirling around Jackie's abrupt exit. Meanwhile, survivors trickled away, clutching care packages, their wary smiles betraying the day's emotional roller coaster. In a dimly lit corner, Brittany and Evelyn conferred with a handful of producers, their voices low but urgent, plotting a controlled environment to force Jackie to address the maelstrom head dash on dot behind them. Jackie stood by a folding table cluttered with empty water bottles and discarded name tags. Her posture was rigid, as if she were bracing for impact rather than seeking resolution. Every few seconds, she adjusted her sleeve, smoothed her hair, and glanced toward the main tent where the other women convened. She knew they had the upper hand after today's spectacle. Their unified front had rallied fan support and forced her hand, now under the glare of makeshift floodlights and prying cameras. She would have to navigate a gauntlet of accusations without stumbling. Evelyn opened the impromptu panel with a pointed observation about commitment and integrity. Her voice, though measured, cut through the hush. "We showed up to help, to serve, and sometimes to confront uncomfortable truths." Brittany picked up the thread, her tone laced with restrained anger. "When someone promises to stand with us, we expect them to follow through, not vanish at the first sign of challenge." Their words echoed over the rows of folding chairs, leaving Jackie to swallow hard as she prepared her defense as they spoke. Denise paced at the edge of the circle, scanning the survivors in the front row for support. Their silent stares weighed heavily on Jackie's conscience. One elderly man in a weathered leather jacket offered her a sympathetic nod, while a young mother cradling her toddler whispered encouragement to the woman beside her. These subtle gestures reminded Jackie that beyond the flash and sizzle of reality TV drama, real people still needed real help and real apologies. When it was her turn to speak, Jackie inhaled deeply, voice barely audible at first. "I understand how my actions hurt everyone here." She hesitated, struggling with the words that felt both necessary and inadequate. "I panicked. The weight of expectations, my own doubts, and painful memories collided. And I ran." Her admission stirred a murmur among the volunteers, some nodding in quiet empathy, others frowning in disbelief. Evelyn leaned forward, arms uncrossing as she offered Jackie a wary olive branch. "We all have doubts, but we don't get to walk away from our responsibilities." Brittany added, softening slightly, "We want to believe you can grow from this. Can you?" Jackie's eyes flicked to the raw faces watching her. Golda, the single mom who arrived early with 5 children in tow. Carlos, the firefighter, who helped coordinate logistics. And Nina, the teenager who lost her home. Each of their expressions asked the same question: "Will you stand by us now?" In response, Jackie recalled a story from earlier in the day, her voice catching. "A little girl told me she thought I was just here for show." She paused, swallowing back tears. That cut deeper than anything. "So I stayed later than scheduled, helped wrap blankets, and held her hand while she chose a teddy bear." The audience leaned in, the surviving volunteers exchanging glances as cameras zoomed on the trembling sincerity in her voice. Yet skepticism remained. A local blogger who'd filmed the event spoke up through the host's microphone. "How can we trust that tomorrow you won't ghost us again?" Jackie paused, then bent to meet his gaze directly. "I've scheduled weekly visits to this community center," she pledged. "And I've set up a fund to help with rent and groceries." She offered proof on her phone, bank screenshots, and calendar invites. Viewers gasped as she laid bare the data behind her promise. Beneath the veneer of drama, the atmosphere shifted. Volunteers who had criticized her earlier exchanged cautious smiles, and survivors whispered words of tentative hope. Evelyn nodded approvingly, though her posture remained guarded. She wouldn't let her guard down, till weeks of follow-through proved the difference between a one-off spectacle and genuine solidarity. As the panel wound down, Jackie turned her attention to an empty chair where her name badge still lay. She reached out, hesitated, then picked it up and pinned it to her shirt. It was a symbolic gesture, but to those watching, it felt like she was reclaiming ownership of her commitment. She looked out at the dimming rows of chairs and offered a final thought: "I'm here to stay." In the tumultuous aftermath, social media exploded with fresh verdicts. Some fans praised Jackie's transparency and detailed plans, while others dug up old footage of past controversies, insisting the cycle would repeat. Hashtags like #JackieRealCommitment battled alongside #JackieWillGhost. The digital court of public opinion remained hung, each tweet reflecting the volatile mix of hope and doubt that had characterized the night. Backstage, producers reviewed the live footage, debating which raw moments to highlight in the next episode's promo. They clipped the moments when Jackie's voice trembled, when survivors offered her tentative blessings, and when Evelyn's cool nod seemed to crown her as moral arbiter. Their goal was clear: tease the next chapter of this unfolding saga, ensuring viewers returned to witness every step of Jackie's high-stakes redemption journey. Meanwhile, in a quiet room off stage, Jackie's daughter waited for her mother's call. When Jackie dialed, the teenager's voice wavered between anger and relief. "I saw you tonight, but I need more than words." Jackie promised, "We'll rebuild together, one day at a time." The conversation, though unheard by cameras, resonated deeply with the entire cast. It reminded them that beyond the glare of reality TV, the most crucial audience was the one that mattered most. Family, as the night drew to a close, volunteers gathered for one last group photo under a banner that read, "Hope Reborn." Jackie slipped into frame next to Evelyn and Brittany, arms tentatively linked. The camera clicked, capturing a moment of fragile unity that might shatter at the first tremor of self-doubt or external pressure. And so the story continued. An intricate tapestry of promises made and tested, betrayals faced and forgiven, and the unending struggle to prove that compassion can conquer chaos. In the dim glow of the emptied tents, as folding chairs clicked shut and cables were coiled, one question lingered. Would Jackie's renewed commitment endure the next trial? Or would the specter of her own uncertainty send her fleeing into the night once more? Time and the relentless eye of the camera would decide, and there you have it. A whirlwind of promises, confrontations, and unexpected breakthroughs that left fans divided and families watching close. Jackie Christie stepped into the fire with a shaky resolve, faced the heat of harsh criticism, and even shed tears for the daughter she nearly lost touch with. Yet questions remain. Will her weekly commitments and community fund survive the glare of social media scrutiny? Can she sustain this level of dedication when the cameras stop rolling and real-life challenges resurface? You've witnessed the drama unfold, from empty chairs and whispered phone calls to tearful apologies under string lights and tangible plans for future support. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you believe Jackie's pledge to rebuild trust is genuine, or is she destined to slip away once more? Are you hashtag Team Jackie Real Commitment, ready to applaud her every step, or hashtag Team Jackie will ghost, watching for the moment she retreats into old habits? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. If you're hungry for more insider breakdowns, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a moment of reality TV roller coasters. Ring the bell to get notified the second we post our next deep dive into BBWA's 12 and help us decide which cast member deserves the next spotlight. Your opinion shapes the story. Share this video with fellow fans. Tag us on social media with your hot takes. And let's see whether Jackie can turn this redemption arc into a lasting legacy. If the ghosts of her past will chase her right back off the stage. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the world of basketball wives, nothing is ever truly over.